What's going on to all you beautiful gems out there? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I am. I hope you guys are not only expressing your light, but also living in your light, living in love, living in peace, abundance, harmony, all that good stuff. But I'm back with another video. As you can see, I'm actually finding it a lot more easier to actually like make videos. It's something that I've actually I've had difficulties doing. I've had a difficulties making videos prior to this, but now it's just like I'm stepping more into my light now, and I just want to be and I'm expressing myself more, and that takes courage. And now it's to the point where like whenever I have something on my mind, I talk about it, whether it's amongst myself, other people, or with you guys. Um, but anyway, I had come to realize something not that long ago. Um, the thing that I realized was this. In the midst of me creating this channel, I think it was in 2022. In the midst of me creating this channel, I realized that I hadn't formally introduced myself, my channel, what the channel's about, the reasoning behind it, how it came to be. I didn't, I hadn't even like introduced anything. So this will act as my introduction video. So my name is Don Graves, and I am the founder and creator of Gem.In Productions. And Gem.In Productions came to be the moment I came to be, 1996. So I'm a young boy, but um, for real though, in all seriousness, you know, Gem.In Productions was birthed when I was birthed, but in terms of me being consciously aware of it, it was the summer of 2022. And I remember that day specifically because on that day, um, I made the choice to focus more of my energy onto my being. So let me give you guys a little quick backstory. So, um, 2022 was a 2022 was definitely it was a year of change. Um, One of the reasons being that my wife and I had wedded in 2022, and another reason being that it had happened to be that same year where I actually started to explore spirituality. Now, um, prior to me and my wife being married, prior to us getting married, we were already staying together. I moved in with her. I moved in with her before COVID started to like blow up. That was in 20. That was 2020, and moved in with her in her apartment. And in 2022, actually it was like 20. No, let me see. 2021. It was towards the end of 2021, probably November. I think I want to say November 2021. Um, we had finally found a place to rent, and we pretty much just, and by we I mean her, we had this idea to where um like it can like be like a fresh start. It could be like brand new. So what had happened, what had been done was this right here. So she had been looking for places, she had been looking for like, different places for us to rent online because we live in an apartment complex. And any of y'all who has lived in an apartment complex and stayed over at one, you already know what that could turn into, man. It's like a lot of people, many personalities living in the same area. So if you're somebody who like values like, silence and your neighbors are rowdy, you're gonna have a hell of a time staying there. And that's what it was coming down to. Like it was just like a lot of different personalities out there, and we just wanted to get away from that. Wanted it to be to where we were like in our own space, a place with a yard where we can actually, just like chill how we want to. Um, so she found the place that we're at now, and she just decided to have this idea. She just had this idea where we could prior to us getting married, we can kind of like have that experience of um being single in a way. So but it was a two-way thing though. So not only was it to do that, but it was also like to like secure the spot for this house. So we did it, and I thought it was I thought it'd be a cool idea. So I got here. I moved into the place prior to her. Um, and the whole deal and the whole idea was for it to be to where after we get married and after we've been wedded and return from our vacation, we'll come back to a new home. More specifically, she'll come back to a new home. And when I got here, I just got straight to work. It just definitely needed a touch up, needed some TLC, so I did that. Repainted, repainted the house. Um, I cleaned everything, man. So I literally made this place. I made this place my home for real, man. I got got some home decor, some furniture. Um, I just wanted it to be to where like when she got here, she'll really love it, and she did. Um, I'm just smiling, just like reminiscing on that time. Like, it felt so great being here and like just doing all the work on this house. Such a good feeling. But yeah. So um, during that time of us being separated, one of the questions I had was, what's the difference between spirituality and religion? And first of all, like that question, I just downloaded that question because like growing up, so like just growing up where I'm from, and I'm from the South Carolina, born and raised, country boy. Um, you already know that like these southern states, any place within the South, you know, um, the dominating religion in the South is Christianity. And growing up in the South, church was mandatory. Church was mandatory. If you didn't like church, you didn't go. Something was wrong with your ass. So to prevent that from even happening, like like the moment you're born, you're in a church, and that's what it was for me. Um, but even though I went on a regular, it's just that it just didn't stick with me. Like energy, my energy and my style of living is like so like rebellious and mischievous that if it goes against how I feel, I don't like it. But I went anyway because I felt as if I didn't have a choice because the adults say to do this, so you got to do it. So that's what that was, and like I just remember like growing up, not really being that fond of church. Shoot, the only things that I did like about church were the sense of community that I felt with the younger kids when we went to Bible study. Um, and like like Bible study was on Thursdays, and um, the person who used to take us was actually older brother and my older brother and my older sister's grandmother. So my brother and sister's grandmother, right? So me being me, I felt that I should have been. I felt like I shouldn't have gone because she wasn't my grandmother. So I remember telling like my mom and everybody that I was like, why do I have to go? Like she's not my grand. That's their grandmother. Like can't they just go and can I just stay here? And I'm not even like 10 years old when I'm saying this. I'm probably like 8. I'm like that's their grandmother. Can't they just go and I can just stay here and I'm trying to watch Everybody Hates Chris and shit. Eat some snacks, watch Eve. Everybody Hates Chris. My wife and kids. I'm trying to stay at the damn house, man. But initially I didn't want to go, but once I got there and I was around like other kids and they actually had some damn personality and some life about them, Bible study was fun. It was just fun being around those guys for real. And during Bible study, we covered certain topics about the Bible, obviously, and then after class, um we would just like have to present all that we've learned and gathered from our teacher to the elders of the church. And you already know how it is, like when you learn something new, whether you retain it whether it's retained long term or not. When you learn something new, you're eager to present what you've learned to anybody. And so that's what it was for me. So even though I wasn't like fully in tune with church and religion at a young age, I still wanted to like let all the elders know what I've learned. I wanted to let them know, like, hell yeah, I got this right here. So like, I'm answering questions left and right. When we in front of them, I'm answering all the questions, right? And at the end of it all, when it was time to go, we had this one lady. She used to give out candy. So that made Bible study even more sweeter right there, man. So not only was I hanging with the squad, not only was I like hanging with the squad, man, but I was like getting candy every Thursday, man, by the load too, man. So I felt like a celebrity. So um, that made going to church even more sweeter. And also like when we was in church, got a little bit older. When I got older, um, church was like still didn't like it, but I had fun while I was in there because it got to the point. It got to the point to where me, my sister, my cousins, whenever we were at church, we were just like having a good time, and we should be damn playing like Temple Run on the phone and the tablets, and like we laughing at how people look and people being extra, you know, claiming that they got the Holy Ghost and all that. So it was just fun, man. Like so, I made it fun. Like I'm literally a party in the body, so I can have fun anyway. Like you can just take me and drop me off on the island by myself, and I have a ball, man. I have a party with just me, like and that's just my energy, and I know that now. Um, but the last thing that made church a cool place to go to and made it tolerable for me was at the end of like church on Sunday. Them damn hot dogs and that chili. Oh my goodness! Like yo, I don't. It's something about damn churches in the South, but specifically black churches in the South. They be have some good ass hot dog and chili, man. I'm telling you. And I used to get them damn hot dogs with the damn coleslaw and the mustard and get a bag of chips and the Fanta. Oh boy, y'all, I'm reminiscing talking about this y'all for real, man. But but yeah, so like even though I wasn't religious and I didn't like church, it's just like I had things there. So like while I was there, I had fun. I had a good time, even though it wasn't my cup of tea. I still had a great time though. I just know how to have fun. And but that's something that even with all that, as I got older, it's just like I just really grew away from like religion. And like as I said before, I wasn't deeply rooted into it. I just grew up in a religious family. But in terms of me, like like taking making the choice to like flow within that religion, that didn't happen for me. Um, and I became, that divide grew even greater as I got older. But um, when I got with my wife, I would just when I got with my wife, I just wanted to be better. I just wanted to be better. So, I felt like being better equated to me, going to church, getting in shape. Of course, having a good job and just, being more positive. Not only thinking more positively, but being more positive. I just wanted to be better. I just wanted to be better. But my reasoning for being better, for wanting to be better, it wasn't like I didn't establish that reason for my very own being. I actually wanted to be better for my wife. I wanted to be better for her way more than I wanted to be better for myself. And so one of the ways in which I felt I could be better was to just get back into church. And with my wife, also being from South Carolina, just as I am, being from the same, being from the same city actually, um, and from the South. She grew up in a religious and Christian household, and church was a big deal for her. She has her views. She has her views of life and of the world, and I have mine. Um, and for her, it means more to her than me. To me, it doesn't matter. Religion doesn't matter to me. Like my relationships aren't determined by you know someone's religious preference. It's just not. It doesn't really matter to me. I've had a friend who was actually an atheist, and I had no issue with that. I had no issue with that because his beliefs didn't take away from how awesome of a person that didn't take away from how awesome of a person he is. He's still my friend to this day. He actually passed away, but that's in the physical. He passed over. That's still my dude, man. I still love him. And that's actually something that we talked about. And was it high school? Yeah, it was high school, 10th grade. That's something that we talked about. I wasn't really too fond of religion, and he was an atheist. Um, and a lot of things that we talked about, they just lined up. They just correlated. He was, but for him, it didn't make sense. For me, I don't care whether or not it made sense or not. It's just that I didn't vibe with it, so I didn't latch on to it. And I was plain and simple. It wasn't doing anything for my energy. So I just didn't. I just didn't resonate with it. So I didn't try to force myself to like it or force myself into it. I just really felt like it didn't matter. My main thing about me, not like my main thing about me was that I actually want to feel good about. I actually want to feel good about the quality of the life that I'm living. And I just knew that by me aligning with that would have done so much damage to like soul and light that it's just like, not. It wasn't even an option. But when I got with my wife, it became more and more of an option because we're given like this golden formula for life, right? Um, and this is the formula right here. And y'all just let me know if this sounds familiar and this rings true to your experience. So here's the golden formula of life: you go to school, you graduate high school. Once you graduate high school, the elders in your life, they give you two options. You got to go to college, go straight to the workforce. But from my experience, college, there's a lot more emphasis placed on college than going straight to the workforce. So, so then you got that. Then you graduate from college. And then after graduating college, you go into the workforce. While you're busy adulting, you're expected to meet a nice man or a nice woman. You guys hit it off really well. You get married. Once you get married, you have children. End of story. That's it. That's all. Like that's what's expected of you. Like your life. That's your life. Little. That's little the life that you're given. And for me, that was just not. That wasn't an option for me because I never. When I was younger, I didn't think about marriage. Didn't think about children. My main passion was just to travel. I'm an outgoing person. I'm adventurous. I like to explore. As a kid, I used to spend a lot of time outside, um, just navigating the woods, climbing trees, staying outside late. Running around, playing. Like I'm a very social person. I'm a social and I'm an outside presence. So that's all I really want to do. Really, just want to travel. That's it. Um, but when I got when me and my wife were dating, I just wanted to do better. I felt I could do better. I felt like I could be a better me. Like something's missing. And it wasn't until that I started practicing my spirituality that I realized that the thing that I was looking for the most, the thing that I was looking for back then was really me. Like I was looking for myself, and but like prior to me having the courage to even pursue spirituality, I wanted to give religion a try again. I wanted to go back to church to see if maybe the thing that I was looking for, maybe the church could help me out with that. So I went to a church service, and I know that getting back into the church was important to my wife. Um, she hadn't. I know she said that she hadn't been to church since she hadn't been to church in like years prior to us like going back in 2020 in 2021. Um, so we went to church, and I'm not gonna lie, some of the things that were spoken at the church that resonated with me. Some things did, some things didn't. But that's how it goes. Though. I'm not want to force myself to agree with anything, force myself to like anything. If I like it, doesn't matter where it comes from. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. Plain and simple. But there were some things that were spoken that actually really resonated with, that really resonated with spirit for real. And there were some things that didn't resonate with spirit. But I took away what I took. I took what I took from it, and it was cool. It was a cool experience. And then after that first time, we went again because there was this event called Soulmate Sunday, and it was just going to be like a service. It was just going to be a service based on like relationships, marriages, um, how to build a more impactful marriage, how to build a marriage that lasts. Right. I thought that was interesting, and I think my wife has already. I think my wife has been the one with one of my friends prior to me, moving in with her. She used to go a lot of places with my friend and his family. They're like family to her. They're like family to me too. Um, so they just used to take her everywhere, man. Like going out to eat, flea market, his pickleball games, all type of damn stuff. And this event was Soulmate Sunday, and I thought it was pretty cool, because I felt that we'll be married soon, and I want to take from it what I can take from it. I want our relationship to improve in any way, shape, or form that it can. So I'm open to it, most definitely. Um, so we went, and I remember like this one guy, somebody that my wife she's familiar with him already because um, he's actually spoken at that same church that we've been at before, um, on an occasion that she had went with my friend. And he was talking about the story. One of the things he talked about was his marriage, his life, what he had done prior to getting saved, and finally joining the church again, and being married. So I talking about his experiences, and he said one of the things that he dreamt about was the rapture. He said he dreamt that his wife was going into heaven, and he was like sinking, and he was like stuck. So all the people and places and things that he loved were leaving him, and him going to hell, and et cetera, et cetera. The typical religious stuff. He dreamt about that, and like during that time, like throughout that service, there were some things that were cool and they resonated with spirit. Um, just like the last time, when they got to that story, when they got to that, I just didn't like that. It's because for me anyway, I saw the I saw the ability for manipulation to be at hand with that story. Um, there's so many ways in which you can grasp a person's mind, but the two most common ways are through love and through fear. And more people now, especially in the times that we're in now, they are allowing themselves to be manipulated through fear rather than through love. And I just call bullshit on the whole thing. That's not to say that you didn't really experience that, but that ain't me. I'm not you. So, like, That's what you believe in. I don't believe in that. So after that service, that was it for me. And it wasn't even fear or nothing like that. That was just like, yeah, like I'm tired of stuff like that. I'm tired of hearing stuff like that. It don't work for me. And I don't want to be in an environment where that I don't want to be in an environment where that's what's being talked about, and that's being promoted. So I just that was it for me. And it was when I was actually living in this place, by myself, that I had more time on my hands. I had more space, had more space to myself, had more time to myself, and more time by myself. So, um, had a lot of things had a lot of things I did, and had a lot of things I thought about. And one of the things I did think about was, what's the difference between spirituality and religion? And I hadn't yet understood where that answer came from, but it was literally soul and light that sent me that message, because I just felt like something was off, like something ain't making sense. So I go to YouTube, got on YouTube and just looked it up, and I found some really really cool and insightful videos that really helped me to find what it was I was looking for. And you know and then from there, that's where my conscious introduction to spirituality came about. It just came about with me um, recognizing, though not fully conscious of it. I recognize that like whatever's going on, like it doesn't work for me. And I was trying to force it to work for me, because I felt like if I made it work for me, then it would, my relationship would work even better. Um, but you know, me and my wife, we've had conversations, early in our relationship about religion, and I let her know ahead of time that I'm not religious. I know there's something, but for me, it's not that. It's something else. I don't know what it is, but that doesn't work for me. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, and I used to say that without fully understanding what spirit really was for me. Um, but just to me, spirit is just energy, man. And being that all things are energy, all the spirit and energy are all, it's all one and the same. It's just a manner in which we use those words. It's just contextual. That's all it is. Um, but it's all one and the same thing. Spinach. I said spinach. Spirit is energy, and energy is spirit. It's all one and the same, man. Um, but it was in my lonesomeness that I actually started to understand spirituality in a way. And spirituality was more. It's so much more different than religion, man. Because like religion is about like adhering to certain rules and doctrines based upon that religion that you follow. It's all about rules, control, being bound to something, believing in something. Even if it's all about believing, you know, believing without judging where the belief comes from. It's indoctrination, and too many rules, man. And like me being me, I grew up, rebellious and mischievous and rebellious, and I still have those tendencies now too. Um, it's just that I'm more courageous with my shit now. Like if I don't vibe with it, I don't vibe with it. Um, and if it works for me, it works for me. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care where it comes from, what it looks like. If it works, it works, and that's just the way it is for me. Um, but spirituality is just so much deeper, because it's not about worship. You don't have to worship anything. You don't have to believe anything. All you have to do is be, and being is the key. And that just really spoke to me, man. Like that just really really spoke to me. once I realized what it is, like once I realized what it was for me, that's when I started to get I started to indulge more into it, man. Like, and this is like for me, I take things from different places, man. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. I can take things from Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and Kabbalah, um, Buddhism. Like, I can take things from anything. It doesn't even have to be a religious or a spiritual system because everything is spirit. It's all about resonance and frequency and harmony, man. Like, what resonates with you? What's what's harmonious with your being? What works for you? And if you can answer all those things and you can apply those things in your life, then you're going to be living life from a place of high energy and high spirit. And no, I just love that shit, man. For real, it really works for me. It takes a lot of confidence, though. It really does, man. Confidence in being. Oh, it's like, oh my god, like, it takes so much confidence to be. But my wife, I've already expressed this to her, and when she, once we wedded, and once we, finally wedded, she came back. I was already dibbling and dabbling with, spirituality, just learning different concepts, seeing what works for me, seeing what doesn't, and just trying to be more of myself without giving any of me away, in a sense. So I wanted to do that. I'm looking for answers. I was like soaking up knowledge left and right, man. Like, just soaking everything up, like just taking it as much as I can, and it felt great too. Like, just learning all these things, and like everything that I was taking in was resonating with me for the most part. Some things weren't, because some of the things that I've come across, it can be titled, it can be titled and labeled as spirituality, spiritual, but there's still that religious framework behind it. So whatever those things were, I just let them leave from me. But the things that really rang true and resonated with my spirit and energy, I kept them, and I indulged more into them. But with my wife, when she was finally here, um, she experienced a different side of me that she hadn't been exposed to. I was expressing my spirituality more, and I was listening to content that would be considered blasphemous to a religious person. So even though it was blasphemous to her, for me it was empowering. I didn't, what I was listening to, like, it wasn't disrespectful. It was just that it goes against a belief that you hold. But that belief wasn't so rooted in me to the point where it caused me any conflict to hear. Um, but for her it was. But I just felt that this it shouldn't be a big deal. Because, like, even though I'm not religious, I went to a church. I went to a church. Um, no big deal for me. But for her, it was though. And for me, that was just unfair. Like, cause like I can coexist with anything and anyone. But I wasn't really feeling that. It didn't feel receptive. All right. Well, yeah, receptive. True. That receptive works too. But what I really meant to say, that it didn't feel reciprocated. Um, So from there, that's where our issues came with our marriage. And of course, with me taking this spirituality, I'm operating from empowerment, empowerment of self, as well as empowerment of the ego. So my ego is all over the place. So I feel like I'm big dog now, because like now it's like, nah, I know the truth. Nah, I know all this junk, some bullshit. You know everything. And the things that we were taught were a lie. I'm on that, right? And in me being on that, I ain't gonna lie. I said some things that could come off as disrespectful to a religious person, but I didn't necessarily drag nothing in the mud. It's just that I'm challenging the belief that many people hold that are religious, and that's where the feeling of disrespect comes in. So um, I definitely apologize to my wife for that, then, and I apologize for it then, and I will apologize for it now too, because your beliefs were your security, and I disrespected that, so I apologize for that. Um, but throughout that entire experience, we grew physically and mentally, apart with these changes. With these changes within myself as well as our marriage, we grew apart, and I can remember it was to the point to where we weren't even like communicating. We would just like see each other, make small talk just for the sake of saying that we did say something. Just try to, get rid of that awkward silence. But, like shit, like and me attempting to like get rid of the awkward silence, the conversations were awkward. They didn't mean anything. Like each conversation felt so empty at that point. But I knew how much my wife meant to me. So, and me being me trying to, make sure everything's cool and bridge the gap. I was definitely trying to communicate, and the communicating was ineffective. Like, even though words are being said, each word that was being said felt empty. So that left me feeling some type of way, and this went on for a while. This went on for a while, and it just got to the point where it was like really, really toxic. Avoiding each other, like sleeping beside each other, but yet feeling alone, feeling lonely. Um, Not conversating the way we used to. Things had changed because of a difference in our beliefs and a difference in our lifestyle and our form of play, so to speak. Things changed, um, and I just felt that I lost her, but I wanted to keep trying to get things back to how they were, while at the same time being open to the changes that I was experiencing within my own personal life. Because now I found something that works for me. I've been practicing spirituality for for 3 years now, and things are changing. It's changing, but I'm more consciously aware of what I can't. I'm more consciously aware of what I can do, and so the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm taking in, I'm basing it on that, and it's working for me. Now that I'm in tune with it, and I know what I'm doing. I know that anything that comes into my orbit my orbit in my path, I know that I can transmute it to where I make all things serve me. Um, that's the understanding that I have now. It took practice, but I'm here now. I'm learning, and the learning is nonstop. It's continuous, man. Um, but that's one of my favorite things about it, though. It's never ending. It's always a new experience every single day, no matter how mundane a thing may be. I always have the ability to take something beautiful from it and make it to where my life, I can make it to where it becomes a part of my life, my daily practice. But um it just got to the point to where we weren't communicating effectively. Felt empty, felt like I was talking to a shell. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that felt that way. Probably she probably felt the same thing towards me too. I'm a shell of the person that she used to know. I'm unrecognizable. um I'm evil, all these things. I'm pretty sure she felt unfamiliar with me. I felt the same thing about her, but I wanted to give what I got, man, because I really care about this person. So, one night I just made the effort to try to open up the ground for conversation, try to be romantic. I know that the intimacy, the communication, it all died down with these changes that we were experiencing within ourselves as well as within each other. So I wanted to put the effort forth to try to, reignite that spark. So one night, we're just in the bed laying down, and I'm talking, cuddling, and while I'm doing all those things, it's just, I just, I just asked her. I just remember asking her, like, like, what's going on? Like, everything good? Like, let's talk about it, because like whatever's going on is going to persist if it's going to persist if we allow it to. If we don't acknowledge what's going on, this thing is going to persist. It's going to consume us. Um, and the response that I got was nothing. And also within that moment, I'm trying to cuddle. Even though I'm holding you, your body's cold. It feels empty. It's hard. It's rigid. It's lifeless. I felt all these things, and it just made me want to cry. So I just remember giving myself an ultimatum in within that moment. And the ultimatum I gave myself was this: um, you know, either she opens up to me and talk to me, or I'm just gonna leave her be to her own devices and focus on me. And based on her action and the choice that she made, I chose me. I chose me. But it hurt. It really did hurt for it to get to that point with us. It hurt, and I just remember just having this plan. I made dinner. I made dinner and cooked, and I had her in the kitchen with me too, man. Just trying to like reignite that spark. And we was in the kitchen together. We talked a little bit, cooked a good meal, watched TV, we laughed, and then we got in the room that night. And I guess it was just we were just too far gone. Um, and that really did hurt. And I just remember, like, being so hurt to the point that like I was like hurt, upset, angry. I felt all these different emotions all at one. But rather than being a victim, I chose to have a victor's mentality. And rather than letting that situation define me in my entirety, I just decided to transmute. I didn't know what transmuting was at the time. I knew the word, but that's it. I didn't know that I was a natural born alchemist. I have the ability to transmute the undesirable into the desirable. And that's what I did, unbeknownst to me. Um, so in that same breath, with that decision that I made to focus my energy on me, just to honor myself, to love myself, and to grow for myself, and to grow for myself rather than anyone else. That was really when Gemini Productions was birthed. And just like in that moment, I just told myself, like, I'm not gonna put myself in this position again. Gemini Productions was a thing. That name just literally came to me in the heat of that moment, in the heat of that hurt, that pain, that sorrow, that rage that I felt. I just kept hearing Gemini Productions. Now, the reason why the name is Gemini Productions is because, one, my son's sign is a Gemini, and it's a play on words, it's double entendre. So not only is my son's sign a Gemini, but I was also making it a priority for me to love and to cherish and to value myself. Thus the gem, looking for the Gem.In.I. I'm going to bring that gem within me out. I'm going to expose myself to my gem. I'm going to discover my gem. So that's where the name came from, and that's also the purpose too. The purpose was just to explore me, just to figure me out, just to invest more time and energy into myself, figuring me out, and just living a life that I'm content with living, as well as helping others who may be facing all these different adversities and challenges, helping them to find their light and their soul and their truth and their gem within them. Um, so really, it's just me. It's just like like a hospitality service for me, to be honest. So I just really this platform started with me, but now it's just like I just want to help as many people as I possibly can. Um, Helping people unleash themselves, helping people to realize themselves. Like, I can't tell a person what their potential is. Um, I can't tell you what your potential is, because potential is just in the air. The moment it's done, it's not potential anymore. It's something that's done. Potential is inevitable. It's everlasting. It's ongoing. Um, so I really just want to help people, like, transform themselves, and that's a transformation that I can't make happen. I want to make it to where I want it to be to where people realize how valuable and how important they are, and in them realizing that, they're gonna go about navigating their life from a place of courage, from a place of love, from a place of light, and from a place of joy, making it to where you are living life based upon passion rather than dissatisfaction. That's what it's all about for me. And the season that I'm going through now, season of loss, um, it really just helped me to realize that again. So that's why I really felt encouraged to make this video, just explaining, like, who am I? What's the purpose and reasoning behind Gem.In I Productions? Like, what can you expect from Gem.In I Productions? What can you expect from this channel in general? And I'm going to answer that. I'm going to answer that question with this statement right here. In terms of what you can expect from this channel, all you can expect from this channel is me. That's it. I'm not going to categorize what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to niche it down, because me being me, I'm a multi-passionate and I'm a very expressive person. I'm learning to express myself, um, without guilt, without shame, and just without, repressing myself, man. Like, I'm just tired of, like, I'm tired of marginalizing myself, putting myself in the box when I don't have to. It's never worked out for me, and I've been trying to make it to where I'm just doing one thing, thinking that it would be simple, but it's really not for me. Like, doing one thing for me does not work. It doesn't. I'm too multi passionate. So that being said, just expect from me. Just expect me to give you me, and that's it. Um, I can definitely let you know some of the things that I'm interested in. Like, I'm interested in writing, reading, books, music, self-expression, authenticity, positive psychology. I'm into spirituality, obviously. Um, but I love occult knowledge. I love occult knowledge. I love mysticism. I love nature. I love socializing. I'm a socialite. Love people. Um, I love helping people. I love anime. I love food. I love travel. I got so many things that I love. So it's really conflicting for me to try to, like, just boil my channel down to one thing. But if I had to say who my target audience would be, if I had to say who my target audience would be, my target audience would be for the multi passionates, the people who have the desire to unleash themselves and express themselves, but not for other people, for themselves, because that's what I want to do. And given that I am you and you are me, we're in this together, man. And I'm just allowing myself to tap into that courage that I've always been looking for within myself, just to tap into it and just be. That's one of the toughest things that I'm realizing. Um, I'm realizing how tough it is to be, but also in that same breath, I'm also realizing how simple it is to be as well. What makes it tough and complicated is that I'm trying to be while still keeping all the things that have already been established in my life in place. And it's simple because all I have to do is just, like, flow with life, man. Like, just flow. That's all I have to do. But I've been making it so complicated because I'm trying to keep everything together. I'm trying to make it to where I can make changes within my life while at the same time everything that's established outside of me, keeping it the same way. I'm expecting people to love me and cherish me and value me the same way that they've always have, the way that I've always received and downloaded from them, even in the midst of me making changes that could possibly, unravel their foundation. I'm changing myself, and then I'm changing myself, and in me changing myself, I'm changing my relationships, and I'm just experiencing that, and it's tough for you, boy. I'm not gonna lie. because like friendship came to an end due to me, finally stepping up for myself and wanting to make some changes. Um, I came out to my wife about um, me wanted to further um, explore my spirituality, and in me doing that, I definitely know that it's going to make her uncomfortable because I'm into the occult knowledge of wisdom. I'm into tarot. I want to explore more of these things, and I feel like not only do I feel I know, I've been trying to do those things quietly, and it just doesn't work. I have to be me. I'm ready to experience me, and what I've been wanting others to experience me more than I want to experience myself. So I really had it backwards for me. Um, it's not working for me that way. I'm trying to show and prove. I'm trying to show and prove to people that you know um, I'm a good person. I'm a loving person, and I feel like people should notice that about me. But it's more important for me to notice all of that beauty for myself. Um, I'm wanting people to know me more than I want to know myself. I'm prioritizing the beliefs and the comforts of others more than the beliefs and the comforts of myself. So I'm just like now with this season of loss that I'm experiencing, I'm just understanding how vital it is for me to really just be at peace within my being, just to be at peace with myself. So I'm doing that now. It's definitely challenging because like I still want like all of these things that's in my life. I want them to like stay a part of me as the way they are, but I don't want to do. I don't want those things to stay if the ultimatum is going to be me staying the way that they want me to. I just don't want to do that. Like because like I'm winning with people, but I'm losing with self, and I don't want to lose me. I don't want to lose me in trying to satisfy other people, and that's just that's just like that's really the crux of what makes Gem.In I Productions such a important thing to me. Like it's my baby for real. Authenticity, self-expression, positive psychology, resonance, energy, frequency. Like those are the things that encompass Gem.In I Productions. And you know, obviously, I have the drive and the passion to experience that for myself. But I also understand that there are others out there just like me who are facing these difficulties and these challenges and these adversities. They want to feel and explore and to examine themselves, and you know, I just want to act as that beacon. You know, so if you don't yet have the courage to fully express yourself and to live in your light and your truth and your authenticity, allow me to show you what that's like. I'm out here. I'm out here, and I'm finally putting the work in now. I'm standing on business. I'm letting my light and my truth and soul shine. And even though it is challenging to do that, because I'm thinking about all the things in which I could lose in going big, but I also know what it means to me to go big as well. You know, I'm not I'm not going big or going home. I'm going big to go home. I'm going big to get home. Seat of the soul, man. That's the home, and I'm going to experience myself one way or another. I'm not asking anybody for that anymore. I'm not going to ask for permission. I'm taking it. I'm taking opportunities. I'm taking chances. I'm really, I'm really at the point in my life now where I'm literally willing to risk anything just to experience me. That's not to say that I'm the only thing that matters, but at the same time, I want to live a life that I'm content and satisfied with. So I gotta be willing to make risks. I just gotta do that, man. I got to. No more walking on eggshells, no more living in someone's box of expectations. No more living in limitations. I'm ready to challenge myself. And to the people around me that I care about, people that I notice are going through, these difficult times and these challenges within their own personal lives, I'm also challenging them as well. I can't make anything happen for anyone, but what I can do is influence. I can influence you guys into being more authentic with yourselves and others by first doing that within my life too. So, as I said as I said, if you don't have the confidence to tap into your light and your truth and live life from soul, then I'm going to be that beacon for you. Um, I'm going to give you what you want by giving myself what I want. So yeah, I guess that's it. Just welcome to Gem.In I Productions, people. Um, it's gonna be more content. Don't know what it is. You're just gonna receive me. I'm gonna give me to me, and I'm gonna give me to you. Um, but yeah, that's it, man. Welcome to Gem.In Productions, baby. Let's do some work. See you guys in the next one. Peace.